Hello and welcome to Hixxy Studio. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this super cute little card. It's really quick, really simple, and I'm using this stamp set from Aall Create. It's by Olga Heldvine, I think it probably is. It's number 287 and it's called Dirty Games. And it's got all these three pigs. You've got a barn and a fence there, and all these sort of pig related sentiments like hogs and kisses, missing you pig time, sending warm hogs. Those are kind of things. So for this card, all I'm using is just one of the pigs, this pig here, and then two of the sentiments, and that's all I've used. But I think it makes a really, really nice little card. So I have a little bit of stamping card, don't need much. And I'm going to stamp this on using my stamping mat. And a little block. Let's grab the stamp that I want. Okay, so this is the little guy that I want. So we're going to stamp him on here. I'm going to cut it out once it's coloured, so I'm not too worried about the bit of card itself. The really lovely thing about these stamps is you only need two colours, a pink and a brown, if you want to go with the traditional kind of pig and mud kind of colours. You don't have to. You could do whatever. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to stamp this without the need to resort to my stamping platform. We'll see. Yes, there we go. Super job. So for that, I've just stamped using Spectrum Noir Finesse. It's waterproof. It's called Pebble. I've gone with it because it's a more brownish tone, which goes much better with my colour scheme for this card. Oh, and I've just realised I've got an ultra dirty mat. So just bear with me a moment. I'm just making sure I've made the right side. I can't reach my rice paper, so I'm just going to grab a bit of kitchen towel and clean that off. Okie dokie. So, the two colours I'm going to use, I'm using Tattered Rose and I'm using Ground Espresso. And they tie in quite well with the sort of the pink and brown from the card. And that's all I've done with this card. Is it's all about matting and layering, because this image is tiny. So I've taken the kind of like pink and brown and added cream in rather than white, and cut a couple of nesting squares and 3 nesting circles, and the image will just sit in there. So it's really, really quite straightforward. So I'm going to start with the pig. So we're going to put some ink onto my inking mat, and I'm going to take I've got a bit of water and my little brush here, and I'm going to start by just putting a fairly watered down base. Now, because this is waterproof, I am able to paint straight over the top. This is just for laying down the base colour. And at the moment, I'm going over those little spots that would be mud, and I'll come back to those a bit later. So I've got the base colour down. Now, if you wanted to leave some bits lighter at this point, you can. But then I will go in with a less watered down version and start going around the edges, but also like under those ears where there's going to be more shade, and then sort of again around this edge. And I'll go back to the more watered down and then just use that to bring that in. It's not such a harsh line. I'm also going to put a little bit under the snout area there, That makes the snout kind of come forward, which it would naturally. A little bit more colour on the edges here. So I'm just tilting it up because the way the lights are for filming, I'm not quite seeing what I want to see there. And then I'm also going to put just a touch on the top of the ears. Again, just blend that out a little bit. Okay, so there's my pig coloured in, nice and simple. And then we just need a little bit of brown or mud. And similarly to the way I've just done the pig, I'm going to create a very watered down, that little lump, very watered down colour to go over first. And all of this is mud. All of this is your mud. So I'm just going over all of it for the moment, just to start, and then I'll start adding in the less dilute. You can see here under there would be shadow because it's where the pig is sat, so that needs a little bit of shading. Don't worry if you go over the edge because this will be cut out. So again, put in, after having sort of put the lightest shade on, I then put the darkest and sort of then blend it out. If you were using alcohol pens, I would do it in the same way. It would be a base of the lightest shade. Then I would put my darkest shade on for my shadows, and then I would use a combination of my sort of mid-tone and light to blend that out more. So, but yeah, depends just what your medium of preference is. But it's kind of the same for me. It's the same principle, whatever medium I use. And just sort of under here because it's shadow, and then in these little bits here there'll be a bit of a shadow too, and then back to that lighter tone. Like I did with the pig, if you need to go back in because you've kind of lost the dark edge, then just go back in, build it up quite easily. There we go, there's our pig in the mud, and I'll clean that in a moment. Might just give it a little bit of a blast before I cut it out. I just want to make sure that it's dry. I'm not smudging the ink too much. And I'm going to use my scissors to start with. I always tend to kind of cut in closer around, so I'm not dealing with a massive piece of card while I'm cutting. And fussy cutting, the idea is you keep your scissors still and it's the card that you move. So the hand with your scissors in is literally just staying in the same place, and it's this hand that's moving the image that you're cutting and guiding it sort of around through your scissors. If you try and move the scissors, you're going to get yourself in some awkward sort of positions that are not really going to work. So, as I said, you can see how quick and simple this card is. Just so cute. by not really sort of adding into, too many other colours, keeping it to the brown, this sort of shade of pink, and then just the cream to sort of break it up a bit. Simple as. Okay, so I have already stamped my sentiments and got those layered up. What I will say is I did not cut them on a guillotine or with lines. Literally, I've gone for the kind of like more random look this time. So here's my card. It is a 4-inch square. And then, like I say, these are mats and layers made using a set of nesting squares and then a set of nesting circles. If you're new to crafting, you're just getting into die cutting, the best things you can invest in are your nesting shapes. They are the most used thing in my entire stash. And I mean, this is more about stamping than die cutting, but the dies enable you to frame your images beautifully. So yeah, if you're new to crafting, definitely worth investing in some nesting die set. Okay, so there's all our little mats and layers, and then I've got my little pig that's going to go on there. Put my pin back in my glue so it doesn't plug up. And then I'm going to use some 3D glue gel to put my image on in my circle. And when I did these, I stamped it, cut it out with my scissors, and then I stuck it onto the pink card and cut it again, and then stuck it onto the brown card and cut it with my scissors again. I didn't pre-cut anything. It was just like stick it on and see how we got on. Sometimes just not even trying to be regular actually looks much more effective. So there it is. Really, really quick and simple card. Using this cute little set from Aall Create called Dirty Games number 287. And literally it's one stamp, two of the sentiments and 2 coloured inks. That's all you need. Have a look on our channel. I have another video using this set in a slightly different way, plus loads of other videos, and make sure you subscribe so that you get updates on when we put new content on. But thank you for joining me.